Hello. Hey there. We are live. All right. Can you hear me? Yes, I think I should be good. Hopefully. All right. Welcome to Unwrapped. I'm Sari Kimball. I'm the creator of Food Business Success. And this is the last Unwrapped of 2021. And I decided to do kind of an impromptu ask me anything. So thanks, Dina, for letting me know. It sounds good. So this is an opportunity. I have some questions that have been sent in already. So I'm going to talk and try to answer as many questions as I can. If you have questions while you're here, you can just type them right into the chat. And we're just going to get going because I know so many of you are maybe looking ahead to 2022 as the year. This is going to be the time when you finally launch that food packaged food business, or you really want to take it to the next level. And I'll let you know ways that I can help you as well. That's what I do. That's my day job, right? You guys want to make your day job selling your packaged food and getting your amazing, delicious product out there. And I help people do that. So here we go. So one of the first questions that I had was around packaging. Now, packaging is such a broad category, right? Because it's all so going to depend on your product type and what kind of packaging you need. So it's hard for me to just say, you know, answer questions about packaging or tell me some packaging resources. I mean, there are thousands of packaging companies out there. I have put together a packaging resource list inside Food Business Success that are companies that I personally recommend and refer and have worked with or know well in the industry and have great reputations. But when you're thinking about packaging, you want to be sure you're choosing food safe packaging, of course. That's a big thing is, yeah, it's got to be food safe, right? um, and of course, it needs to protect it from the elements. So depending on your what your product is, does it need to be freezer safe, refrigerator safe? Does it need to protect against moisture, against going stale, right? Helping to take some of the oxygen out. So thinking through those things, are you going to need multiple pieces of packaging or just the one thing? Also to consider, depending on where you're going with this, if you're going into wholesale, you're going to need maybe the actual physical packaging that goes around the product. Like let's say it's a bar, for instance, like an energy bar. Then you're also going to need a box to put all the bars in, right? What we call a caddy. So something that's going to display the box, the bars, hold them together. So there may be different levels and layers of packaging that you're going to need to consider. And you have to be really careful because packaging can be very expensive. I think it's really interesting when we do our profitability worksheets with members and clients that when we look at packaging, often they're pretty surprised that professional grade packaging is sometimes half or a third of your overall cost of goods sold. So packaging is expensive, and it unfortunately with supply chain issues, it's only going up, right? I've had clients tell me like, yeah, it's gone up a lot the last few months. It's doubled in price or things like that. So super important that you get the right packaging, especially depending on your sales channel. So if you're going to a farmer's market, your packaging doesn't have to kind of wow quite as much, right? Because you're there talking about all of the benefits and sampling the product. So the packaging doesn't have to stand alone versus being on a store shelf or being on e-commerce where it's going to have to do what I call the heavy lifting for you, if that makes sense, right? That it's going to have to stand out a little bit and differentiate from the other products. So that kind of gets into design as well. But yeah, I mean, there's so many packaging options. You can see a lot of different products behind me here. So it's definitely something I give you full resource, all my resources inside Food Business Success. But that'll give you a couple little things to think about. You also want to think about sometimes people, some of their core values are around sustainability, right? So do you want something that's recyclable versus compostable, or does it matter to you at all? Um, and then I talked about shipping a little bit, but just keeping in mind like glass is going to be heavier than plastic. So plastic typically ships a little bit better. Um, but and it also doesn't have the breakability factor, right? So again, it kind of depends on your sales channel, but sometimes plastic can make things feel less premium as well. So I definitely think you should explore lots of options. I have found when I find a package that I like of another brand, I'll oftentimes just like DM them on Instagram and just see if they'll tell me. And a lot of times they will, where they get their packaging from. All right, we had a question. Somebody wrote in here, how do you find reliable people to help you manage your business? Um, I guess it kind of depends on what aspects of the business. I kind of look at it two different ways. Like there's sort of the high level services, like do you want, service providers? Like, do you need a bookkeeper? Do you need a graphic designer? Do you need a social media person? So like sort of outside services, and then there's the people that you're actually going to bring in as part of your team um, inside of your company. So I guess, and when you say help you manage your business, I'm curious because you, as the founder, the entrepreneur, um, you should really be the one managing your business, and then but figuring out where are the pieces that you need help with that are not to use Gay Hendricks framework, that's not in your zone of genius, right? So at the beginning, when you're starting a packaged food business, you're going to wear all the hats. You're going to be the bookkeeper and the social media manager and, the production manager and your QA and your food safety and your sales and all of the things. You'll wear all the hats. But it's important as you grow that you also learn to delegate and that you're willing to take off some of those hats that aren't in your best areas, that you aren't suited for well. And give them to other people who that is in their zone of genius. It's going to probably cost you more to do that, but the time, the opportunity cost of like freeing up your time for you to do what you're good at and grow your business will definitely be well worth it. So I guess, yeah, if I knew kind of which part you were talking about as far as um, employees, I mean, that's like you managing them. Um, and that, can be challenging to attract, finding reliable people. If you want people to work for farmers, your farmers market, or help you with fulfillment or help you in the kitchen. Um, I find that using your circle of influence is usually the best place to start. Typically they're called loose ties. So typically, we don't like when you're looking for a job, you don't necessarily find your best job like in your immediate circle, but kind of opening yourself up, like putting it out there and asking for help from people. And then it's like, who do they know? Right. Um, so also a lot of it is about setting expectations. I'm working with a couple of clients actually who are trying to bring on people to help them in different areas of their business. And so part of the work that we have to do as CEOs of our business, and if you're running a business, you are a CEO, is that we need to set the expectations very clearly, write down exactly what we want what are the pieces and what does that look like so that you are very clear on what needs to be done, and then you can set that expectation for others in your business to help you out in those areas. So it's always got to start with you, my friend, as the entrepreneur, as the CEO. You are in charge of your business. I know leadership, stepping into the role of CEO is a big theme for me in 2022, and I'm going to be definitely trying to bring that along into my work with my business coaching clients and inside food business success. So it's a big deal pulling together a team and creating management and leadership, right? All right, great question. So, another question. This actually came with some client work the other day, and we were talking about LinkedIn, and she was asking me if that was something that she needed to think about, and it got me thinking, like, I should probably share that with you guys. That LinkedIn is actually a place that you do want to be, not as the brand, but as the brand founder, and you might as well start now, even if you're not quite ready for it. But as you go in, if you are looking to go into more like mainstream distribution, wholesale, this is where the industry hangs out, is on LinkedIn. So buyers, grocery, like anybody in the grocery industry, people in distribution, all, kind of that, the back end, the management of those things. This is where people are hanging out, is in LinkedIn. So I do want to encourage you, if you don't have a LinkedIn, to go ahead and get that. If you do, go back and, you know, clean it up. Like, make it tighter. Go look at some other people in the food industry. Go look at their profiles, because I bet there's some opportunity there. And then go start searching hashtags like hashtag food business. Find other people in the industry. Start commenting on people's posts. There are groups inside of LinkedIn. Like, you want to start building a network now, so that when you're ready to grow and you want to try to find, oh, I need to find a buyer at UNFI, you maybe already have some loose tie connections, right, through your work. So these things take time to build up your LinkedIn profile. So I definitely, don't ignore that. Yes, we need social media like Instagram and Facebook as our customer facing. This is really the end user, but from a business standpoint, LinkedIn is a place where you do want to nurture that and put some time in there. Okay, what else? Co-packers. Somebody did ask me about some specifics about co-packers. I have a couple of videos already, that I put out on this YouTube channel about co-packers that are very highly watched. So that's a really great place to start. As far as finding co-packers, um, I put together a great resource list inside Food Business Success. And it's something I can definitely help you navigate. Um, and otherwise, it's kind of Google searches, and especially Food Association has a resource. You could go check theirs out. Sometimes at the state level, like the Department of Agriculture might have a database resource. That's another place you can go look. Um, and then sometimes I've talked about this in the other videos too, is like, can you find a small batch producer that's making similar products? So they're small, right? They're kind of, maybe farmers market or small wholesale. But could you work out kind of a mini co-packing arrangement? Because sometimes the trouble with co-packers is that their minimums are so high. And when you're just doing entry level, getting into the business, you're not able to do 50,000 pounds of granola, right? So, finding the right size of a co-packer is really important. We were just having on our group call yesterday inside Food Business Success, we were talking about co-packers and like reminding everyone that, you're going to be oftentimes especially when you start out, you're going to be a little fish in a very big pond, and that co-packer is managing all different sizes of fish, to keep going with the analogy. But and they're gonna, like, their biggest fish are the ones that are gonna be most important, and so you need to be able to be flexible and understanding and work around their schedules, and kind of understanding that you are low on the totem pole when you're first coming in. So, but as best you can, try to find a co-packer that's sort of the right size for you. The three bears scenario here, trying to find the right size co-packer. And then, all right. Lastly, I have email welcome sequence. Somebody was asking me about what should be in an email welcome sequence. and I'm going to answer that. But first, I want to just remind you guys that the Whip Up a Business workshop, Whip Up Your Food Business workshop, is open for registration. It's $27 to come on January 18th live. I'm going to take you through a 90-minute value packed workshop. And this is really meant for people just with that idea, right? You haven't really started yet. Maybe you're doing cottage food, you want to transition up, or you just have that idea. You're like, 2022 is my year. So I want to definitely encourage you to come join me live inside the Whip Up Your Business workshop. You can register at foodbizsuccess.com/start. So trying to keep that super easy to remember, but definitely go get signed up. I would love to have you in the room there. All right. Email sequences. These are really important, especially if e-commerce is what you're going to be working on. You really want to nurture people, is what we call it, when they sign up on your email list. And no, email is not dead. Email is very, very important. That you are collecting people's emails. I'm working with a client, and we're talking about doing a Kickstarter, and we're talking about how important emails are if you're going to do something like that. Plus, just getting people on your list like that, those are the only people you own, right? When you run Facebook ads or Instagram ads, you don't own those customers. And so you want some way to get them to give you their email. And when they give you your email, you need to give them something of value back, right? Think about your own email, and you probably don't just like go around and give it out to every website that has a pop-up, right? You want to see what you can offer of value. Sometimes we call it a lead magnet. So sometimes it's a recipe or a how-to, or a discount, of course, is always always kind of one of the main go-tos. But what can you offer of value in exchange for an email? And then you own your client, your customer, right? And so it's important when people get on that email list that they are in a what we call a funnel, a welcome email funnel or series. And so I would recommend 3 emails. At least have one. So when they get on your email, it triggers. You have it all set up in Klaviyo or in MailChimp. It triggers once they put in their email, they go on a list, and then it triggers them sending an email. It's all automatic. But the first one is really about like, hey, thanks for getting on the list. Here's your discount or your the lead magnet, right? The recipe book or whatever it is. The second one can be kind of typically I'll do something around like you as the founder, or like what the brand is all about, why you're special, why you're important, to you at least, right? Why you exist. And a lot of times it is about your story at that point. And then the third one, maybe is more about the product itself, like the flavors and why you chose those flavors or the special ingredients. And then if at that point, if you haven't already offered a discount, you could do that, a discount to help, encourage people to order. But yeah, you want to like nurture them. You don't just want to like take their email and then they hear nothing until you send them a promotion, right? So it's a way to kind of warm people up and remind them that they signed up on your email list. And I mean, how many emails? Sometimes I get emails. I'm like, I know I did not sign up on that list, right? So another great tip is to go sign up on other brands and get their welcome email sequence and go check it out. See what you like. See what, are there pieces that you want to borrow and turn into your own? Are there things that you don't like? Then you know that too, right? So some people have just like a specific email that they just use for all of their like, email list stuff or marketing stuff, or put it all into a folder, but save that stuff, go sign up for other people's welcome sequence. So I think those things can be really helpful to see what other brands are doing and get inspired, get ideas. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for me here on Unwrapped. And I'm here to answer all your packaged food business questions. If you want to come work with me, sign up for the Whip Up Your Food Business workshop. That is the easy way to just dip your toe in the water and see if this is for you. If you already have a business, my one-on-one business coaching program is definitely the best program for you. And then Food Business Success will be opening later in 2022. You can always go get on the wait list for that. Go and apply. You get some bonuses in an email sequence. Now you guys know what that is. And everything is over on foodbizsuccess.com. If you like this video, please like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Food Business Success. I appreciate you being here. I hope this helped as you look ahead to 2022 and really launching your business. Oh, and I just had a question come in. What's the best way to get customized packaging? Um, I I guess I'm not sure. Tell me what kind of packaging because there's lots and lots of customized packaging. It's just the right printer, right? If it's a soft bag, a stand-up pouch, a flexible pouch versus a box, right? So there's lots of different types of packaging. It's really just finding the right printers, the right resources. Like I said, I have tons of resources inside Food Business Success that I share as something special just inside the program. But it's important that you kind of feel out, try to get if they're testimonials, things like that. So for granola, yeah, stand up pouches. I typically refer to ePack is who I like, and they have different offices around the country. That's usually who I've used in the past, but not always. I have clients that have gone with other companies like Rostar. Um, I can't remember. There was one that was very inexpensive. I would say the quality wasn't as good, but there are other ones out there that are going to meet all different price ranges. So I would just even search like flexible packaging, custom, something like that. So awesome. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for so much for joining me here on Unwrapped. Like this video, subscribe, go sign up for the Whip Up Your Food Business Workshop, and I will see you guys again in 2022.